We are Cactus Wrestling. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos.
Cactus Wrestling is now available on Spotify and Amazon. And don't forget to check us out on Etsy for all of your Cactus Wrestling apparel needs.
Welcome back to Cactus Wrestling. We are here to uh, go over the Claw. First time it's being called this, the
Oh yeah.
Claw US Open. Good for Claw getting their name out
Oh
there.
yeah.
Honestly, I'm excited to see what they do with this professional league that they got going. But anyhow, we're kicking it off with men's freestyle, which is starting, I believe, on Friday. So, yeah, we'll jump right on in. 57 kilograms. I mean, if you want to talk about depth, it is not here.
No, I was about to say we're going to talk about other weight classes then.
Yeah,
Um,
we we
but
we will go in elsewhere.
yeah,
Um, I mean, I'm thrilled to see CT representing and getting in at the 8 seed, Nico Provo. Good for you. Do I think Provo's going to go on a run here?
don't. But I'm happy to see him down from 61 because last time we saw him wrestle freestyle, he was at 61 kilo and he went, I think, 1-2.
Yeah, he got wrecked.
Yeah, was not. He got attacked by Forrest.
Well,
I think
and I think wasn't he injured this year? So like he didn't wrestle.
yeah, yeah. So
But
we'll
hey,
get
he's back.
yeah, exactly. So we'll see how he looks.
Maybe he'll knock off Luke Liddell in the first round, and Mike will.
Unlikely, but
Titles.
we can hope. I mean, some of us will. I won't.
We can hope. I mean, I don't think that'll happen, but I mean,
I
I'd laugh
think
if it did. Uh,
so. Do you want to talk seeds first and then kind of break it down?
yeah, I mean, sure.
All right. One seed from the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club. You have Luke Little. Two seed Daniel DeShazer. Three Liam Cronin. Four Brandon Courtney. Five Dominic Minaretto, another high schooler. Six Sheldon Seymour. Seven Caleb Smith, and eight seed Nico Provo.
Yeah. Do you think that Luke Liddell is secretly thrilled that Sheldon Seymour's on the other side of the bracket?
I don't. I think he would have actually been looking forward to the matchup. I think, um, like a lot of these high level guys, their kind of best style is freestyle. I mean, for as good as Spencer Lee is at folk style, he still is a better freestyle wrestler.
Hmm.
Same can be said about Luke Lillidahl, who had a great year as a true freshman, wins the Big Ten title, takes third at nationals.
Yeah.
But he's already a four-time world finalist and two-time world champion.
But he
So
does have
I would
national
say he's a better
runner-up.
freestyle wrestler.
That you got a good point. But he does have runner-up, national runner-up Brandon Courtney on his side of the bracket.
He does. I don't think he's worried. I got to be honest. I feel like this is
I
a
mean,
very.
Brandon Courtney really has not done anything on the freestyle scene, so I
Um,
don't think he should be worried.
I think the interesting name here is Dominic Minaretto. He just committed as well, actually. Um, where did he commit off the top of my head? I thought
Illinois?
he's. Did he stay in state?
No.
Um,
Oh wait, no. Was it Ohio State? No.
yes, he committed to Ohio State. That's right. Um, so two-time world champion Dominic Minaretto. I think he's the dark horse of this bracket. Um,
I mean, if he can beat Brandon Courtney, he'll get his way to Luke Lillidoff. If he beats
yeah,
Luke
and that could be an
Lillidoff, then he
exciting
should probably win
match.
the bracket.
But Luke looked great in his last freestyle event. He talked about this on the Bashamania podcast a while ago that he was going to be doing a lot of freestyle this year. So he's doing like obviously the U.S. Open and senior level. He just did the U23 Pan Ams where he teched his way through. Didn't give up a single point actually. He looked really great, really offensive. Some of the best wrestling I've seen from him. Um, my prediction and so 57 kilo and 61 kilo are the only weight classes where um, the defending spot holder, world team member, has accepted their spot for Final X on the men's side. So there will be no world team trials at 57 kilo or 61 kilo. Whoever wins the US Open will face Spencer Lee at 57, best two out of three at Final X, and Vito Rujao at 61 in best two out of three at Final X.
And you
Um,
think it's going to be Daniel DeShazer?
I do.
Yeah.
No. I like Luke for this. My prediction, if I could be so bold, is that he's going to win the U.S. Open. He's going to lose to Spence in the best 2 out of 3. And Luke is going to go say, hey, man, I'm just here for the experience. I'm going back down to U20s where I'm going to try to win my second straight world championship.
That's pretty reasonable. I mean, Daniel DeShazer is kind of like a, you know, veteran guy. He'll be tough-ish, but I don't think he's going to win the U.S. Open. Like, I don't think that's likely. So I feel like, yeah, you're probably right. Luke will probably pull this out. Liam Cronin, Brandon Courtney, Sheldon Seymour, Caleb Smith, Nico Provo, none of those guys really jump out as like they're coming. They're gonna get it.
Yeah, I mean, there's some other guys in the bracket like Barrick Jordan and Brendan McCrone. But I
No.
don't see anyone like really challenging Luke. And um, and maybe someone does. There's other guys like Austin Assad, Youssef Lilly. Um, but I still think that, you know, Luke is the clear favorite. I mean, he's 2-1 already against Daniel DeShazer. Um, and he's good he's just a good wrestler, dude. I mean, freestyle, he made the Olympic team.
I mean, I think you've sold it enough.
Yeah.
There's not much more to say. I think he's definitely the favorite for good reason. Um, so we'll move on up to 61, where it is actually a pretty loaded field where
Very deep.
there's a landmine at pretty much every turn.
Man, where do you start? I mean, so we'll go through the seeding, and then there's some other big names that didn't get seeded. So
Yeah.
Marcus Blaze is the 1 seed. Dayton Fix is the 2. Deshaun Garrett 3. Seth Gross is the 4. Austin DeSanto is the 5. Jax Forrest, another high schooler, is the 6. Nico Megaludis is the 7, and Nathan Tomasello is the 8.
Yeah.
Which means that guys like Nick Bouzakis, Ben Davino, they missed out. Like they didn't get seeded, and again, they're world level accomplishments as well.
Yeah.
Additionally, you have other guys like, oh gosh, Michael McKee, who's solid as well. Christopher Betancourt. Um, yeah, I mean those are the big names pretty much though.
I mean, those guys could be potential landmines. Like McGee, freaking put RBY on the brink at his last year at
Yep.
Nationals. So like the Davino's definitely an up and comer. So like you got to watch out for him. Tomasello has been right in the mix for a spot, but I he trades matches with Nashawn Garrett, and lately Nashawn's been the more successful guy. I don't think Tomasello is going to be the guy for the spot. Megaludis could go on a run, but I kind of doubt that he'll be the guy that is at Final X. Jax Forrest, I mean, I could see him beating a lot of these guys.
What holds Jax Forrest back for me is that he did lose to Austin DeSanto last time they wrestled, and that was at the World Team Trials for 61 kilo.
Fortunately for him, Austin DeSantis on the other side of the bracket.
But my point is that Austin DeSanto is a good freestyle wrestler. I always predicted that. I think that we talked about that Austin's style translates very well to freestyle. Um, but he is not the guy for Team USA, and he hasn't been. And so if Jax Forrest is struggling to beat Austin, how is he going to beat the high level guys of Seth Gross and Dayton Fix and Marcus Blaze?
Yeah, I mean, guys that have been the world team member.
Yeah, exactly.
Nashon, who was right there at Final X fighting for the spot. So, like, I mean, I feel like on any given day, like, you could run this tournament back 4 times and have 4 different champs.
Yeah,
Like, I, I, I have a tough time picking who I think.
Blaze has an impressive hit list in the last year, and that's why so
Yeah, no, I mean, you got a good argument for Blaze purely because of that.
he's beaten Dayton
Um,
Fix, Nashawn Garrett, Seth Gross, Nico Metaludis, Luke Lilladall, Nasir Bailey, Ben Davino, and Jax Forrest all in freestyle in the last year. And that
Yeah,
was when he was
he's
17. He's
beaten
18.
literally everyone in the bracket.
That's my point is that, he's only gotten better, you have to assume, since last year when he did it.
The only guy that I would consider other than Blaze looking at it, I think, is Dayton
Probably
Fix.
Fix. Yeah.
And the only reason I consider Fix is maybe David Taylor.
Well, that's what I was gonna say as well, is how has Fix improved training with, Gilman for the time that Gilman was there.
Yep.
Um, RBY,
RBO,
um,
yeah, RBY
David,
who
the David Taylor era of a different style of training. Um, you have to imagine Dayton Fix has also made improvements. I mean,
I feel like he'll be back onto the track of where he might actually be a contender for the
yeah,
spot.
yeah, and that would be
So
exciting.
I'm I mean you could go either way. Blaze or Fix, I think is gonna be I kind of part of me is rooting for Fix, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's it's tough because Dayton Fix has been a multiple time world medalist, and he was a senior level world medalist, and that hasn't been said for anybody else in this list, really. Um, but the fact that he lost to Blaze, but again, he lost him 2-2 on criteria. It wasn't like Blaze went out there and beat him like 8-1.
Mm.
Um,
So
you
yeah,
know,
I mean, with the changes that have happened at Oklahoma State, maybe Fix.
maybe he
You
has.
gotta assume Blaze has also
Well,
improved.
that's exactly it too. Is it's who's improved more since they've last met.
Yeah.
Um, and
So
I'm super excited for it. I am going to go with Marcus Blaze. I think the young up and coming. Um,
I'll go with Dayton Fix just
that's
to
fine, yeah.
oppose you.
But just the fact that Marcus Blaze was so competitive with Vito
I
Arujau,
mean, I could see Blaze winning it easily.
and
Not
that's what's
easy.
exciting about freestyle is that, like, both guys really can go out there and just get it done, and you never know. And I'm looking forward to the matchup. Um, but
Yeah.
my prediction is, again, Marcus Blaze wins the U.S. Open, goes to Final X, loses to Vito Arujau, gets the U20 spot, and possibly wins it. It depends where. Actually, no, I think he does win it this year at 61 kilo. Wins the U20s.
So, what do you all think? Does Mike have it right, or does Mike have it right?
Nah, they all know Mike's right.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. All right, moving on up. 65 kilograms. We got some decent
It's
guys.
not
I
as
mean,
deep.
it
Yeah,
kind
not
of
again,
drops
not
off.
as deep, which
Yeah.
is surprising. But we talked about this in our group chat. Is that it's kind of cleared out. You had guys like Nick Lee, Zane Rutherford, Yanni Giacomahalis. I mean, none of them are at that weight anymore. Jordan Oliver.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
No,
The
so
guys
like
we do
who?
have are Joey McKenna, Jesse Mendez, Bo Bartlett, Real Woods, Aiden Valencia, Josh Coderhan, Carter Young, Vince Cornella. Cornella, he's still around.
Yes. Um, it's I am gonna go with McKenna. Um, I
Ooh.
think that he's got a pretty good freestyle accolade so far.
I mean, the only hiccup with McKenna is I feel like he always falls just short.
Well, I was gonna say he's always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Exactly. Like it always seems to happen that way. So like I feel like Mendez is gonna pull it off.
It's possible.
I mean
It is
Mendez
possible. No, Mendez has looked really good.
Mendez last year at what was it, the World Team Trials, he nearly knocked off a Vito, right? Not
I
Vito.
believe, no,
What weight was that? The guy who won the spot.
he almost knocked off Zane.
Yeah, he almost knocked off Zane. That's what I meant. Yeah, yeah, Zane. He gave Zane the closest match that tournament. Like I like Mendez for this. I think he's the most dynamic.
What's interesting though, why I'm leaning toward McKenna is that his last big win was huge. So he beat Sebastian Rivera when they wrestled in 2024.
Hmm.
And Sebastian Rivera was a returning world finalist at the time.
Hmm.
And it wasn't a close match. He teched him.
Yeah, good old Seabass. But that's the
So
thing. Uh, That was one match. McKenna putting a whole tournament together, and McKenna's he's so good, and then screws it up.
What's funny too is that, you know, McKenna has losses to Bo Bartlett as recent as 2023 at the US Open. When the last time he wrestled Bo Bartlett, he lost to him. Um, so it is interesting with that. You know what's funny too is I don't think he's ever lost to Sebastian Rivera.
Wow,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's never lost to Seabass. That's funny.
Flex on that one.
Yeah, I'm looking at that now. Um, I want to go with Mendez because of like you said, the success he had
Mm.
against someone as good as Zayn. Um,
I mean, and even though he lost to Bartlett twice, he still friggin' pulled off the title.
yeah, I mean he wins when he needs to win. He wins the big matches.
And he lost to
Um,
the Big Tens. Like he had 3 losses on the year and he still figured out what he needed to do and got it done. So
I think that ooh, you're gonna go with Mendez.
I'm going Mendez, yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with McKenna just to be different.
You
But
got off with going McKenna and I picked Mendez, so you're sticking
yeah,
with your guns. I like it.
yeah. What's interesting though for these guys is that we could see them at the World Team Trials anyway.
Mm.
This is just it'll be interesting to see who decides to enter this weight class.
Nick
Um,
Lee, what?
hey, hopefully, man, Nick Lee's awesome. How can you not love Nick Lee? Chop wood, carry water. Um, I think Real Woods is a bit of a landmine in this weight class.
No, he won't get it done. He stinks.
I don't think he'll get it done, but I think he can take some guys into some interesting positions.
Maybe,
Um,
but yeah, at the end of the day, I don't think he's gonna be a real contender for the spot. Just kind of like DeSanto won't be.
how deep is 70 kilos?
Oh yeah, moving on up. I mean, they got some.
The top three are just insane.
Well, I mean, Pentalio's so good, and yet he's not at the same time.
You got
Like,
Yanni, you got James Green.
yeah, Yanni James Green, Pentalio, and then you got Will Luan.
Will Luan is not as bad at freestyle as he is at folk style. He actually wins matches, but he's lost. So
He
here's
would
what's
win
funny is
matches in
that
folk style all the time.
what's up?
He would win matches in
I know,
folk.
but but you wouldn't expect his style of like he's a big overtime guy, and there's no overtime freestyle. But
Which he's currently advocating for there to be overtime.
yeah,
There's a
yeah.
petition. It's Will Luan wants overtime. It's going around. Try and sign it if you can. We did. Don't worry.
So looking at this list, Will Luan, Yaya Thomas, Bryce Antonian, the 4, 5, and 6 seed have all lost to PJ Duke.
Mm-hmm.
I
Who's
think
PJ
Cardenas
Duke?
will be interesting because he had the red shirt this year due to injury. Um, I believe it was due to injury. Do you remember?
Who? Cardenas?
Yeah,
I don't remember if it was due to injury or not, but I knew he
I
redshirted.
think he. I don't know if it was if it was a red shirt for injury or not. I thought it was injury. Um, James Green versus Yanni is going to be a lot of fun. I do think that's going to be
Assuming it's James
the
Green on Yanni.
final.
Doug Zapp.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about James Green on Yanni.
What about Cardenas? You don't think he's a dark horse?
Maybe, maybe. Um, it's tough to say.
I don't think Andonian will get it done. Yaya is tough. He'll probably beat Lil Luan.
There's a few other tough names out there. I mean, you got
Yeah, I
Brayton.
wouldn't be surprised if Yaya made the finals, but then lost.
Well, Yaya lost to PJ Duke. He wasn't thrilled about it. But you got some interesting names out there as well. So you got Brayton Lee. You got Jackson Arrington,
I think
Giovanni Cassiope.
my
And
favorite fact about Brayton Lee was he was the number one top returning guy at the weight, and then managed to not even qualify.
yep, he's good like that.
And they were trying to hype Minnesota was trying to hype him up like he was the next Gable.
Yeah. Hey, you got Cutter Sheets and John Wiley as well. There's some landmines in this.
It's
Bro.
it's it's not as deep. It's just the Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's very top heavy. I'm gonna go with James
Or
Green. He looks like he's been returning pretty well to form. Um,
you don't think Yanni's back better than ever now that he's got his shoulder fixed?
and Yanni's tough. It's tough to say with him.
Mm. I, I'm gonna go Yanni because I want to pick Pentalio, but Pentalio seems to screw up most of the time. So
I mean, the last well, what's funny actually, and this will blow your mind a bit, is
mm.
that this year on February 27th, Will Luan wrestled against James Green,
Ooh, flex on that.
and James Green lost
Willy
2 to
one.
3.
So I stand by Yanni.
But in February, Pantelio also lost to
Willy one.
James Green. So this will be interesting. Are we disrespecting Will Luan here, or is the clear answer just say, okay, Green is out, Yanni's in?
Oh, so we should say it's going to be Yanni on Willy one.
Yanni Diakmahalis. What a name. I feel like everyone always forgets his real name's John.
Like his brother's Greg.
Yeah. Um, Yanni hasn't wrestled though in a while. And last time he wrestled, he lost to Jesse Mendez.
That was then. This will be now.
Yeah, it's been a year since he's wrestled freestyle.
Hey, Adeline Gray. She had some
She did. She
rust
did.
to shake off, and then she did fine.
All right, so we thinking Yanni here?
I'm going Yanni.
I'm gonna go Yanni as well. Let's go.
Go Yanni. All right, moving up. 74. Mike's favorite wrestler of all time.
David Carr is gonna win it.
You don't think Messenbrink, though?
So here, I didn't
Ooh.
until I saw David Carr beat a wrestler that Kyle Dake lost to.
Oh, interesting.
I didn't. I mean, I predicted that it was going to be a blowout in the other direction, and that was not what happened. When he beat Takatani 10-7, and that was just in February of this year. Like that was only like 2 months ago.
Oh, Takatani is one that freaking annihilated Dake.
Dake, and then he lose. Takatani also was a silver medalist.
Yeah.
Um, and then David Carr beats him 10-7, and you could say, okay, it was at a catch weight. You could say that because it was at 76 kilo, so
Mm.
it was up. Um, you could say that. Well, it's, Japan wasn't peaking. They only focus on the big event, so to them this is just a fun day. You could say that he was in a foreign country, the travel, blah blah blah. Any excuse you want, but the answer is that Takatani, who almost teched Kyle Dake, was an Olympic finalist.
Mm.
Only a few months later, loses to David Carr. Um,
Yeah.
so
I mean,
and additionally, David Carr is no slouch. I mean, he's
hey,
beat
but Mitchell Messenbrink upset Jordan Burroughs.
emotionally upset him. Yes.
He didn't win the match, but
No, he was very frustrated.
he
But he picked
honestly, yeah, I agree. I think Carr has beaten Messenbrink before. It shouldn't have been as close as it was. The ref kind of, I think, embellished on the stalling. Um, so, yeah, I'll agree with the Carr's going to get it done. I mean, there are some other interesting names. You got Quincy Mondays, Jarrett Jacks, Peyton Hall, Terrell Barraclaw. Maybe we'll see Barraclaw on Messenbrink. Mm-hmm. Ed Scott, Elroy Perkin. I mean, yeah, I think this is just an
I think it's
inevitability of
just
Carr
top two.
Messenbrink.
Top two. Yeah. Carr versus Messenbrink. But again, Monday's not bad. You know, but I do think that this is going to be a David Carr Mitchell Messenbrink battle. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Who do you think's gonna win? Let us know. We're always interested. Mike will definitely be commenting.
yeah.
All right, moving on up, 79 kilos. Honestly, This is pretty level playing field, I feel like.
I think.
Evan Wick, Dean Hamady, Kennedy Monday, Danny Bronigal, Carson Harchla, Simon Ruiz, Mohammed McBride, and Clayton Whiting are the top 8 seeds. I mean, Wick is definitely, I feel like, a heavy favorite, but Wick is known for blowing it. So I'm picking Dean Hamady.
Dean Hamady.
Maybe Kennedy
Yeah,
Monday.
I'll go with Dean Hamady. He's looked good. He's looked really
Yeah.
good. Some of the best wrestling we've seen from him.
Yeah.
I think that he's just getting better, training with David Taylor
Yeah.
in freestyle, where David's probably loving it. I think that Dean Hamady is the guy to beat at this weight.
Yeah. And I think Evan Wick will find a way to lose instead of find a way to win.
It's
Yeah.
reasonable.
Danny Bronigal, he'll give it his all, but he'll still lose. Um, Kennedy Monday, I feel like he'll probably be competitive, but yeah, no, I don't think so. Harchla, he should just retire. Um, but I mean, this weight really is not that
Yeah,
exciting.
not
This
not as
next
exciting
weight,
as
though,
yeah. Well, it's like a roller coaster. It's coming in
yeah,
waves.
this next weight could be very interesting. Kyle Dake,
What an
Zahid
amazing top
Valencia,
three.
Chance Marsteller, Parker Keckison, Rocco Welsh, Marcus Coleman, Braden Thompson, and Dylan Fishback. Okay, so those last two are really
Hey, you got some other guys in this. You got Reese Heller. You got Jersey Rob.
okay.
Um,
Sure.
I think you said Fishback already.
Yeah, Fishback's the 8. I mean, Marcus Coleman has a win over Aaron Brooks. It's a
Yeah.
solid win. Rocco Welsh, national runner-up, representing the KD Training Center.
What?
The-
Oh,
ac-
Rocco Welsh. Yeah.
yeah, according to the Mat.com, he's
Yep.
representing.
That is accurate.
Um, realistically, I can't believe Chance is going 86.
Why? Like you're surprised he's at instead of 79?
Yeah.
I could say the same thing about Dake.
Well, maybe Dake. Okay, well, if Dake's having issues with cutting weight, and that's why Takatani was able to just annihilate him, maybe that's why.
But don't you think that's a big jump from 74 to 86? I mean,
Only 14 pounds.
12 kilos. What?
What?
That's like 20
Wait,
something.
no, yeah, that's only 24 pounds, 26 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, and I talked to you guys about this. Like
Yeah,
Kyle
it's
Dake,
only between 165 and 190.
I don't know. I am surprised he's not at 79 kilo. But we did talk about this. Is that Kyle Dake last time he was at 86 kilo did pretty well.
Mm,
Um, the last time he was there, for guys that don't know, was in 2016. Um, he won the U.S. Nationals. He beat David Taylor in the finals, 11-4. In 20 well, that was actually the 2015 U.S. Nationals, but he was also 2016 at the Olympic trials. That's what it was,
mm,
where he beat Richard Perry and David Taylor in back-to-back matches, and then he lost to Jaden Cox in the best 2 out of 3. He did win one of the matches, so he lost 8-1, won 5-3, lost 5-3. And then how did Cox do at the Olympics that year? He took bronze. Um,
so, I
so
mean,
it's reasonable to think that this is not a crazy weight for Kyle Dake.
and he does have a win over Zahid, although that was at a lighter weight class for
He
both of them.
does.
So I think Zahid fills into this weight much better than Dake. I kind of think
I
my
think
money's
Zahid's the
on
guy to beat.
Zahid.
I do think Zahid's the guy to beat. We've seen how competitive he's been with better guys at 86. Zahid had a best-of-3 series with David Taylor for the Worlds recently when David Taylor took bronze.
Mm,
Um, and Zahid beat him in one of those matches, and that's David Taylor's preferred weight of 86 kilo.
yeah.
Oh no, it was 92 at that point. My bad.
Um, yeah, I think I like Zahid the most for this. I mean, Chance. I think Chance's moment was when he won the spot, and he wasn't able to pull it off then.
That's fair.
Um, so I mean, I kind of interested to see Parker Keckison maybe wrestle Dake in the semis. That'd be interesting to see. I,
Yeah.
I think Dake will probably still win that match, and I my money's on Zahid.
I got Dake making the finals but losing to Zahid. I think that Kyle Dake, Kid Dynamite, incredible wrestler. He does rely on being stronger
He's
than
more
some of his
like
opponents.
geriatric dynamite now, but
Yeah. But Kyle Dake relies on his power and his strength, as a lot of his offense. You've seen the classic like Dake bomb. Um, I think that he is not going to be the strong guy at 86 kilo.
no.
And I think that it'll have to adapt to his style. He's obviously a very proficient wrestler. He's got an incredible career and an incredible resume in folk style and freestyle. But I don't want to discredit Zahid and what he's done so far at 92 kilo and 86 kilo.
Yeah, no, exactly. So he's the more not credentialed, but like
He's the more seasoned 86 kilo wrestler.
exactly. Yeah, he's been at the weight. He's had success at a weight above that. Like
He's coming down. Kyle Dake's coming up 2 weight classes.
yeah, exactly. So I'm very confident in picking Zahid. I mean, if Zahid loses, then Zahid loses, and
But then again, they have the World Team Trials after that. And we might even see Kyle Dake go back down to 79 just to test the waters at 86 this week.
yeah, especially if he loses to Zahid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, let us know where you thinking, Dake, Zahid, Chance, other.
I'm excited to see how Rocco Welsh does just from the perspective of like, what has he got? How has he improved or not improved since the last time we've seen him wrestle,
I
really?
hope he scores 0 points because he's
I
so
don't think,
defensive and
I
does
don't think
not.
he'll score zero.
No,
Um,
no, he does nothing. He tries not to score. Can he do
he
it?
he did earn a bronze medal at the Zagreb. Oh gosh, I'm gonna fuck up his name.
The Greb.
Zagreb Open this year. So he can't be too bad. He beat Evan Wick. He
Evan Wick?
lost
You
to
mean one seed Evan Wick? He's at the wrong weight.
yeah, yep. Well, he was 79 kilo for that as well.
Yeah,
And he did go 2-1. So it wasn't like it was like a crazy bracketing nightmare.
yeah.
Um, but it'll be interesting to see what he does.
All right. Yeah, definitely. Moving up, 92. Very boring weight. There's not a ton going
Top
on.
three. Top three.
Yeah, you got Gavin Nelson, Seth Shoemate, Cam Caffey, Dustin Plott, Eric Schultz, Aiden Sinclair, Mike Machiavello, and Trent Hidlay.
I
Honestly,
think that I'm so
Hidlay.
I feel pretty good about this one going to chalk.
Yeah,
I think Trent will take first, Mock will take second,
yeah,
Sinclair will take third.
yeah,
And I don't
yeah,
think the others, Plot is exciting, maybe. Schultz, not bad. Gavin Nelson, I'm surprised. I didn't think he still wrestled.
yeah, yeah.
And Seth Shoemate was again like he was the big name coming out of high school, after his freshman year. And I just feel like he never really hit his stride. He kind of peaked early. Um, Awesome to watch his throws as a freshman. If you guys want to be really entertained, Google like Seth Shoemate, like 2022. I could be wrong in that year, 2022. And you'll see like some crazy throws that he was hitting on guys in high school as a freshman. But yeah, I got Hidley winning it, Mock taking second, Sinclair taking third, and then Sinclair dropping back down for age group stuff.
Yeah, no, that's probably exactly what's going to happen there. So you could let us know what you think there, but it's not as exciting. Um, 97 kilos.
Kyle Snyder.
Yeah, well, yeah, you got it's all Snyder all the way, but the other guys that will be present, you got Maki Smith, Christian Knopp, Ethan Laird, Gavin Hoffman, Gary Traub, Masama Ndene. I kind of hope he gets to Kyle Snyder just to see how he stacks up. So that way we have a kind of an idea of what he's going to be like once he's at Iowa.
I'm just looking at Kyle Snyder's like Wikipedia page. You know how many gold medals he has?
No.
30.
Is that all?
He has, so they have it as one from the Olympics, three from the World Championships, seven Pan Am Championships, 3 Pan Am Games, 2 World Cup golds, and 14 other gold medals
Wow.
from various like the Arigan, the Kalev, the Petrov, the
Oh yeah.
Dogu,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the Grand Prix. He has 5 silver medals and 7 bronze. You're talking about a guy that has over 40 international level medals. And then
Yeah.
he's going to come and be like, yeah, what are you doing this week? It's like, oh, I'm just going to go to the US Open. Just ruin everybody else's day.
He wants another U.S. Open title. Like I
He
said, I
wants to
kind of
wrestle.
hope Massima makes the finals just so we can see kind of a preview of what to expect next season at Iowa.
I think that he's going to do well. I mean, we just saw him at U23s for the guys that watched it. He dominated. He looked great. Um, we're going to talk about him when we get to our Iowa preview because he's in like his 6th year of college or going to be his 6th year of college.
Hey,
Um,
it's par for the course.
keep wrestling, baby. It's that Iowa love, man. They go,
Yeah,
hey, man, we need a 197, and he's got to been wrestling for like 10 years. I know just the man.
at a minimum.
Um, but yeah, this is going to be probably maybe Ayalo versus Snyder, but I would like to see Masa. Mm,
Yeah, I want him Snyder. I want Massimo and
yeah, I think Massimo Snyder is going to be a lot of fun if it happens. I
that's what
don't
I'm
think he
hoping for. That's
loses.
what I'm pulling for. That's what I want to see.
Um, Snyder needs one more win to get his 200th career freestyle win.
Wow.
He's 199 and 21 right now.
Dang.
Yeah, so be pretty cool to
I mean, it's too bad he doesn't, win more world titles.
What's crazy is like he's just at the same time as friggin' Sajalayev. Like,
Sadulayev and then Sahuzanov, like,
yeah, like he's just born at the wrong time. Like,
yeah.
you
Well, hey,
know,
he won it in the Olympics and
he
he's
did.
won
He
worlds.
did
Like
win. He has,
he
multiple
may
time world
again. Who
champion.
knows?
And yeah, he could. I mean, he's still young enough. He's not even 30 yet.
Yeah.
Um,
All right. Well, let's cap it off. 125 kilograms. Demetrius Thomas, Lucas Stoddard, Christian Lance, Jordan Wood, Nick Feldman, Trent Hilger, Captain America, Wyatt Hendrickson, and Hayden Zilmer. Uh, Demetrius Thomas isn't going to do anything. Stoddard, nah. Christian Lance, not. Jordan Wood, I could see beating Nick Feldman.
yeah,
Hilger, nah, I don't see him doing much. I see this as
Zomer versus Wyatt.
Zilmer versus Wyatt, and I'm pulling for Wyatt.
I think Wyatt will probably get it done.
I think so.
Um,
I mean, Zilmer is a former world team member, but at the same time, he is getting older. He hasn't had the world team spot in a few years.
he hasn't, and when he had it, he
And
didn't really accomplish a ton with it.
also, if Wyatt's capable of beating Gable, he should be more than capable of beating Hayden Zilmer.
That's
Just
fair.
that if you're able to beat Gable Steveson, you better be in a competitive match at a minimum against Hayden Zilmer. Hayden Zilmer's, I think, highest finish when he was at Worlds was fifth.
I mean, just this past February, like 2 months ago, Zilmer lost to Mason Paris.
Yeah, even more reason to believe that
He took
Captain America.
bronze, and that's awesome. But I think that this is Wyatt's tournament to lose, and
Yeah,
this would be a great coming out party for him for freestyle. And we'll really
especially
see.
because he's already committed to competing through the 2028 Olympics.
Yeah,
So he's trying to get that spot and start off 2025 with getting the world team spot, well, winning the US Open and then trying to get the world team spot would definitely be the way to do it. So I'm pulling for him. You go,
yeah,
Wyatt. Get it done.
get her done.
Yeah. So there you have it. That's the men's freestyle US Open this coming weekend. We're excited to catch it, watch it, and enjoy it. see all the madness that ensues, what sets up for Final X. Final X tickets are on sale. We've looked into potentially going in June, and
You know why it's called Final X?
oh, this is a fun fact. This is a fun fact for
It is
sure.
a fun fact. Because X is the Roman numeral for 10, there is 10 weight classes for the world team, and it is the final 10 representatives for Team USA.
See, I told you it was a
I
fun.
just thought that was, I found that out not too long ago. I was like, that's pretty cool. Didn't know why it was called Final X until then.
These facts don't get more fun than this.
Nope. This is a barrel of laughs over here.
That's why you come to Cactus Wrestling. You come for those fun facts and those barrels of laughs. We'll pull out a fresh barrel next time.
Oh,
But yeah, make sure you let us know, comments down below, who you picking, who you liking, what weight, who you think's gonna go on a run, who do you think's gonna make the Final X, and who's gonna make the world team. We'd love to hear from you. And thanks always for watching Cactus Wrestling.
Thanks for watching. We are Cactus Wrestling, and we'll see you next time on our next video.